In his day, Sokolov was Dunwall's genius. His inventions transformed the city. I watched from the tower as they changed the capital into a prison, and listened as he drank and laughed, telling my mother time and again how brilliant he was. After her death, Sokolov's inventions helped a tyrant take control of the Empire. Now, all these years later, Kirin Jindosh is Karnaka's genius. The mad inventor who's given the Duke sinister machines that move like people but aren't. Clockwork soldiers that fight and kill. I've got to find out where Sokolov's being held and bring the old man back alive. Rescue one genius and kill the other before he creates an army of Clockwork soldiers.
Just want Anton back here, safe and sound. How did that old fool come to mean so much to me? You might want to talk to Hypatia before we head out. She's taken one of the rooms, just for a while, I think. Needed to be away from Adamire. Dr. Hypatia seems better than when she first showed up. Is it truly possible the good doctor didn't know she was the crown killer? Maybe she just didn't want to. That woman worked so hard during the old Duke's reign. For the poorest people in the city.
What did I do? What did I do? All these faces and the Duke's voice, lulling me, and feeling her push me down into sleep. Oh, you're here. Stay with me a moment.
Dr. Hypatia, can you remember anything that might help me? I need to find Anton Sokolov. He could be the key to unraveling the Duke's plans.
My memories are disjointed. The Duke is close to his grand inventor, Kirin Jindosh. But that man has the empathy of a mantis. He seems to both admire and despise Sokolov. We visited Aramis Stilton. I liked him. But something bad happened. Just snatches of memory. Sorry.
You should rest easy for a while. Maybe some of that will help.
I hope so. I'm not sure I even fully understand what you did for me. But I owe you for helping me at Adamire. Thank you. My dreams are still filled with visions. Some of which I'd sooner forget. When I first got here, I was in a daze. But I'm feeling better. I'm not sure how long I'll stay here, but I appreciate being away from Adamire. A few days' recovery has helped.
Ramsey and the Crown Killer. 2 pieces of the puzzle. More to go. So the Crown Killer was a tool of the Duke's coup. The murders had a calculated effect. Hypatia did terrible things under the influence of her formula, but she's free now. We'll find you, Anton. I wonder how recently this silvergraph image of Jindosh was made. To reach Jindosh, I'll have to take the carriage through Lower, then Upper Aventa. With a couple dozen Clockwork soldiers, Jindosh changed the Empire. What would he do with an army?
Let's hope your friend doesn't sink the boat while we're gone. Ready?
I am.
All right, let's get underway. Jindosh is important to the Duke's inner circle. The Grand Guard watches his mansion, and they'll call down the entire city if they find out who you are.
I'll make sure they don't. You said there's a wall of light cutting off access to the carriage station?
Yes, but there's a black market shop nearby. They sell on the sly. Ever use a rewiring tool?
Corvo taught me the theory.
Good. Get past the wall of light, then ride the carriage to where Jindosh lives. And there's a reason people are afraid of his mansion.
I'll get it done.
Emily, take care of this crazy man and his Clockwork soldiers, then bring Sokolov back. He means a lot to me.
Is a land of tall timber, fierce winds, and deep silver mines. Leave the ocean for those with no other choice.
I'll tell you a story about Kirin Jindosh, the Duke's grand inventor. Once he was commissioned to make a toy for a 6-year Tivian noble girl. Jindosh worked for 3 months and built a machine composed of wood, brass, and the bones of several cats. It ran on a few drops of whale oil a day. The little girl was told she would have a special treat, and she was perfectly delighted until the moment it was activated. She lives at an asylum up at Dabakfa now, and will until the end of her days.
When the Grand Guard go into the place and see it packed solid with blood flies, they burn the building to the ground, and the ones on either side.
They may just smoke flash it. Either way, the jewels will be ruined. We're not getting our money, are we?
Have some faith. It'll just be more complicated than I thought it would be.
The Dukes let the blood flies get out of hand this year. Am I ever gonna catch a break?
Nobody's looking out for nobody right now. We'll go back tonight and dig the jewels out. After that, we'll make a quick exit from Karnaca.
Hey, times are hard. Help me out if you can. Appreciate it. I'll let you in on a secret. I saw people coming and going recently, looking for whale oil, up to something. Everybody's got the willies now. Feels like the city might collapse. I worked in the silver mines here until the dust got to my lungs. So many people legging it from the city. The Grand Guard and the Howlers won't have anybody to tax or rob. You watch yourself. The Grand Guard aren't too friendly to strangers. Impressive how you managed to get there. Be careful. Those people with the oil tanks might still be around.
You said whale oil. I got it for you. Not easy to pinch either.
No, you screwed up. It won't work without another tank. Not enough blast. You gotta trust me on this.
All right. I don't know shit about explosives. Never said I did. I'll go out again later and find some more.
Good. You can't rush jobs like this. It takes a smooth hand.
We can't piss around here forever either. Eventually some wanker will see us and the Howlers will catch wind. But I hear you. One more tank.
I need protection. The Grand Guard doesn't do its job. I don't know you.
I'm new to Karnaca. I need a tool that can rewire a wall of light, the kind the Grand Guard uses, and I'd prefer not to explain myself.
I can help you out, but not right now. Don't even linger here. I'm supposed to get a visit from Paolo, someone you don't want to meet. Come back later.
Understood.
You should go. We can do business another time. Like I said, Paolo is coming by. I think he's here. Hide yourself.
Does that again? To wake up tied to a bloodfly nest.
I need 8 new cutters, short blades, the good stuff. Morley steel.
I know what you mean.
Do you? Because last time, you gave me some backwater foundry garbage that wouldn't hold an edge, and snapped against Grand Guard armor.
I got taken on that deal too. But I'll make it up to you, Paolo. Lop off maybe 10%?
30. Because I like you. By next week.
That's fair. I made a bad faith trade and I regret it. You'll have the cutters, I promise.
Good, good. These are strange times. Overseers in the Dust District, a witch empress, and these Clockwork soldiers protecting the aristocracy. All bad for business. But if I get my way, Karnaca will be a different city a year from now.
The situation in the Empire has driven the prices up, I'm afraid. I'm told they robbed one of our shops. I'd like to see them try it here.
Who do we have here? I wonder why your face is covered, lady.
That's my business. Who are you supposed to be?
I'm Paolo. In this part of town, everything's my business. And slumming rich kids should remember all that etiquette they learned. Maybe you need another lesson. Is that what you came down here for?
Better take off. Paolo's in a bad mood. This won't take it.
Come on, let's finish this.
I'm glad to... I can't believe you're alive after crossing Paolo.
I trained with better. Much better.
Come in. I might have what you've been asking for.
Did someone hear some thunder or something? Honestly.
Jindosh's mansion from here. The carriage line is blocked. I'll have to unlock the gate.
Whatever happened to this? Give me a handful of the Clockworks and I'll clean up the dust district.
I don't know. Maybe the tall boys were better from the time of the rat plague. They made people stand up straight.
Times change. If the Duke has his way, we'll have an army of the Clockwork soldiers by this time next year.
The mansion has a strange beauty to it, but all such places must eventually come to ruin. Jindosh, it's time to pay for what you've done, and maybe I can find Sokolov.
Welcome to my home, stranger. The door is always open to those with the will to pass the threshold. If you're here by appointment, then proceed and bide your time. Otherwise, I'd be remiss if I didn't inform you about the defensive mechanisms employed here, which are quite formidable. Many have entered without invitation, for reasons as myriad as the fish in the ocean. But of those who've dared to explore further, very few have found their way back out.
Who would build something like this? And why?
Someone's activated one of the mechanisms in my house. Welcome, visitor. My home is always open. It's one of my great curiosities seeing how the common mind navigates these shifting rooms. I'm Kirin Jindosh, but you must know that. Before you stands an invention that will endure beyond my time. The Jindosh Clockwork Soldier. Marvel at the Clockwork Soldier's hardened metallic skeleton and razor-sharp blades. The miniaturized whale oil tanks are spread across the frame and hidden behind protective amber wood panels. Visual awareness in the front and back. Auditory detection in case the head unit sustains catastrophic damage. My greatest creation. I invite you to continue, stranger. Just come up the stairs. Meet with me face to face in the upper hall. There you are. Magnificent. Now that I see you, I've worked out who you are. Not a hired cutthroat. Your clothes are too fine. An aristocratic thrill seeker? That's closer. You've trained with weapons formerly, but you're not a salon fencer. There's a bit of back alley in your movements. All that, and you have your father's eyes, your imperial majesty. Welcome, Lady Emily Caldwin.
Impressive, Jindosh. Then you must also know why I'm here.
I'd assume my involvement with Duke brought you to my door. Or maybe you're after washed-up Anton Sokolov, comfortably residing in the assessment chamber. Either way, come find me and take whatever it is you seek. But if you fall, I'll have your body carried to my lab for dissection and study. Until either comes to pass, your secret is safe with me.
I'll see you soon, Jindosh.
Until then.
Going from the other side.
Well, playback indicates that the machine is in active state now, waking up. Playback for detection registered. Playback indicates criminal protocol file. Wooden housing 3. Extraordinary. It seems that even 2 of my Clockwork soldiers are no match for you. This has turned out to be a very interesting day.
Somehow I got out of that alive.
My wall of light, the original Sokolov version, is inelegant but effective. This one has been perfected by yours truly. In part, I made this place for luxury and spectacle, I suppose, but it's more than that. This place is a testament to engineering itself. Listen to the chap being one of my Clockwork soldiers. I'll have questions about that. Once I have you restrained.
It'll wake up on its own if a fight breaks out. They're blind, but they can still hear.
Creepy to know they might be listening to us. Can they understand what we're saying?
No. No more than an audiograph machine can.
My Clockworks was a technique for you. You also slaughter my guards. Well, at least they're easier to replace. Ah, I sense your movements. I know where you are. I love to sit there, smoking and sketching out new ideas. Hello, are you there? I can't sense your weight on the floors or the sounds of your breathing anymore, but it seems like a reasonable guess that somehow you got me on the inner walls of the house.
Hungry people just work harder. It's indisputable.
You'd think at these prices, the man wouldn't keep us waiting.
There's only one Kirin Jindosh. He can charge whatever he likes. Besides, you're rich enough to afford a couple of the Clockworks. I happen to know you've doubled your fortune since the Duke took over the silver mines.
Lower wages means higher profits, but it's my time that's precious. I'm not used to waiting.
If you're there, I have to warn you, that area's not safe. Not meant for human passage.
There he goes again. Who do you suppose he's talking to?
It explains the delay at least. If there is a break-in, I hope the Clockworks deal with it quickly. I'm tired of waiting for Jindosh.
When I think about it, your presence implies a great deal. It's very impressive that you survived Delilah and made it down here to Karnaca, all without the aid of your infamous father.
I hate the way he...
Are you alright? It'll be that sadistic crown killer.
People don't hide it.
Be careful. This was devised to test the limits of the Clockwork soldiers. Quite dangerous. If you're really looking for Sokolov, that old nag is around here somewhere.
Don't tell anyone, please.
Make a note. Okay, the machine has detected reconfiguration reported. At this point, the Clockwork is scouting. Big exploration of the area. Continue search.
Sokolov.
Running. The machine is switching out of search.
Can it be? Is that young Emily Caldwin?
Anton, save your strength. I came to take you out of here.
Jindosh has bigger plans than you know. An army of his Clockwork soldiers. It would be the end.
I'm going to visit Jindosh too, old friend.
Adapting to layout. You've taken Sokolov. Now what?
Safest to take Sokolov back to the carriage before confronting Jindosh.
1,000 rotations. General detection state. Playback for detection registered. Astonishing! You freed Anton Sokolov. I won't let you take him. Sokolov was the great thinker of his time, and now he belongs to me. Dead person in field. The machine is experiencing...
Okay. At least Anton is safe. Now, for Jindosh.
I suppose Sokolov is now safe and sound. And yet here you are again, back for more.
Ramsey and the Crown Killer were just the start. I need to break down Delilah's remaining allies. Jindosh, the Duke, all of them. Brianna Ashworth.
So many events in motion, each exerting subtle gravity. With Delilah, a new empire could be drawn, and all the old barriers broken. Much could be accomplished. My Clockwork soldiers have played their part, but each costs more coin than a wealthy man sees in a lifetime. It could take years to find a solution on my own. But if Sokolov can be tamed, together we might refine the process, making new Clockworks at a fraction of the cost. Whether I seduce my old teacher with the thrill of discovery, or whether I'm forced to apply the clamps to his flesh and turn on the voltage, no matter. It seems you found my bedroom, though I confess sleep usually eludes me. My mind won't stop turning. Oh, Empress, without the petty theft. But forgive me, you're not the Empress anymore, are you? At last, Imperial Majesty, you found me. You realize you're only the second person to set foot in this room, the most sophisticated laboratory in the Isles. Please, try not to damage anything as you die. Clockwork soldiers, dispatch this intruder! Playback for detection registered. Playback indicates a criminal profile. Something. Things indicate. Performance damage ahead.
This must be the electroshock machine Jindosh mentioned.
Physician and head of the Academy of Natural Philosophy. In your prime, the most sought-after painter in all the Empire. My hero in younger days. Now, my puppet.
If you're going to use this inelegant-looking device against me, get on with it, Jindosh. Though I'm not sure what you hope to accomplish. I must admit to feeling a bit of professional curiosity as to the function of the apparatus.
Patience, friend, patience. The sequence of events is important. You'll come to understand my electroshocked machine, but when? Before or after that light leaves your eyes? And where does it go when it disappears? Who will tell me that?
Has anyone ever loved the sound of his own voice as much as you do, Kirin? Perhaps the device could tell us that.
No, sadly, it cannot. But what it can do is take from you the thing you love the most. Your precious intellect. If you won't agree to collaborate on the next Clockwork prototype, I'll use the device on that brain of yours, Sokolov.
I refuse. If I'm to be a drooling idiot, at least I won't be bothered by any more of your rambling theory.
The electroshock machine should work now.
You don't know what you're doing! Anything! I'll give you anything you want! Stop! Don't do this! So much will be lost! An age of advancement!
This is what you're going to do to Anton Sokolov.
And if I combine the acid against a copper plate, what does it do? I knew that a moment ago. Does anyone know the answer?
did it. How is he?
He's frail and wounded, but he'll recover.
I didn't think it was possible. You must have a story to tell. I'll hear it back at the ship.
Let's go then.